Great, well welcome to Goddess Yoga. So today let's get started on our backs. So you can just take a comfortable position. We're going to come into constructive rest. So soles of the feet are on the earth, about hips width apart, with knees to the sky. And you can have one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart here, and we'll just take a moment to arrive. And so with your eyes closed, you can start to turn inward. With the hand on the belly, see if you notice the belly starts to rise as you inhale, and then it comes back down as you exhale. Body and breath just working together. And working together with ease. As you start to turn back into the body, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the goddess that we're going to be working with today. So today, we're going to work with the Greek goddess Persephone. So she is a princess of spring, but she is also the queen of the underworld. So what I really love about the goddess Persephone is we get to see her evolve from a naive maiden to a sovereign queen. So Persephone was Demeter's daughter, and the goddess Demeter, she was the goddess of the harvest. So she was the goddess of fertility, she had all of the crops grow, so she's really what sustained life. And Persephone was very much a mama's girl. So one day she was picking flowers in the meadows with her girlfriends, but the earth suddenly opened up, and Hades, the god of the underworld, came to abduct Persephone. He wanted her to be his wife and queen. He brought her to the underworld. So as you might suspect, Persephone was not happy about this, nor was Demeter. They were devastated to be apart, like any mother and daughter would be. So Demeter was so sad that their crops would no longer grow, and everybody was in risk of dying because they weren't getting the sustenance they needed. So the god Zeus had to intervene. He had sent Hermes down to the underworld to get Persephone and bring her back to her mother. But unfortunately, Persephone had 3 pomegranate seeds that Hades had offered her, and apparently that had evoked some underworld rule where Persephone was going to be required to stay in the underworld for half the year. So while this might seem like an unfortunate set of events, it allowed Persephone to grow into a naive maiden, into her sovereign queen. So she might not have been able to do that had she stayed under her mother's watchful eye or had been in Demeter's shadow. So what this really shows us is that through our challenges and through unexpected events, we get to evolve, we get to learn and grow. So even though sometimes things may seem hard or they're not what they planned for, so this was not something that either Demeter or Persephone had planned for, we can use the challenges in our life almost as gateways or portals to our queendom. So maybe just take a moment right now to think of a challenge that you've gone through or that you're going through and how it's actually afforded you an opportunity to become stronger and to evolve. And throughout the practice, we're going to focus on evolution and growth, and taking our challenges and really harnessing them so that we can evolve into become better, stronger, and wiser. And then you can take your triceps down to the earth. We're going to come into some bridge waves. So you can see if you can just graze your heels with your fingertips. And then on an inhale, you can lift your hips high. And then on an exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, they lift. And exhale, they come back down. I'm going to keep doing that, so matching breath to movement. So you can go at your own pace here. Inhale, lifting. And then exhaling, coming right back down. And the next time your hips are lifted, you can leave them here for a moment. So with your feet pressing into the earth, you can raise your hips a little bit higher. And just breathing here. And you can rest your hips back down to the earth. You can drop the knees to the right as you gaze to the left. And then the other side. Coming back through center. You can grab behind your thighs. You can start to rock up and down your mat. And then we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. So you can just come into a nice seated position, so whatever's comfortable for you. So we'll begin our practice with a breathing exercise. So we'll take Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, which gives us a chance to balance both our left and our right side. So our feminine and our masculine energy. It also helps us to alleviate any anxiety. It just gives us a sense of inner peace and calm. So to start, you can take your middle finger and your index finger, and you can place it right on your third eye. And then throughout the practice, which I'll guide you through, the thumb will block the right nostril and the ring finger the left. But to start, you can just close your eyes as you settle into your body. Just start to breathe normally. So then together we'll take an inhale and an exhale. We'll block the right nostril, inhale through the left. Blocking the left, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. And exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. And exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. And exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. And exhaling through the right. And you can release your hand down and keeping your eyes closed. And just taking a moment, breathing normally. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll meet in tabletop. So in tabletop, shoulders are over wrist, hips are over knees. Bringing the hands nice and wide and flat on the earth. So feeling that grounding, sense of stability. And on an inhale, drop the belly, look up for your cow posture. And then on an exhale, arch the spine, drop the head for your cat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, drop the head. So again, we're matching breath to movement here, so you can take some more at your own pace. Really with the intent just to start stretching out the spine. And giving it some length and movement. Coming back into the body. Come back to neutral. You can extend the right leg out, so keeping the hips square to the earth. Maybe start to engage the core a little bit here. And take an inhale. Exhale, bring knee to nose with that cat-like spine. Coming back up. Knee to nose. Coming back up. Knee to nose. And do that 2 more times. Coming back up. Knee to nose, coming back up, knee to nose, holding it here for a moment. You can release the leg back, and then bringing the knee right back to the earth. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, and exhale, arch the spine, drop the head. And coming back to your neutral tabletop. And this time, left leg will extend back. Keeping the hips square to the earth. You can take an inhale here, exhale, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose, engaging the core here. I'm going to go 2 more times, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose. Holding it here at your nose for a moment, releasing the leg back, and then bringing the knee back to the earth. Inhale, drop the belly, look up for your cow, and then exhale, arch the spine, drop the head for your cat, and then come back to neutral. Planting the weight into the right hand, left hand comes high. You will set up to thread the needle now on the left, so that left hand goes right through. Right hand can come to the upper right corner of your mat, or maybe it wraps behind you. So see what feels better. I'm going to take a few breaths here. And then right hand can come back towards your face. You can lift yourself up. Left hand comes high. Left hand comes back to the earth. This time we'll place the weight in the left hand. Right hand comes high. And then right hand will thread through. That left hand can come to the upper left corner, or it can wrap behind you. Left hand can come back towards your face. You can lift yourself up. Right hand comes high. Right hand connects back to the earth. Keeping the hips lifted above the knees. Take a few giant steps forward with our hands
as we soften our chest down to the earth, coming into our puppy pose. So here you can try to connect the chin to the earth or the forehead. We're really stretching out the chest hair. And keeping the forearms pressed to the earth, you can shimmy the body back. We'll come into Sphinx. Shoulders over elbows, pressing the forearms into the earth, chest comes through shoulders. So this is also a back bend. And we'll release down to the earth. You can bring your arms out like goalpost or goddess arms here. We're going to just take a gentle shoulder twist. So this can be pretty intense, so just take it at your own pace. So maybe the right arm can be pressing into the earth and elbows are at like a 90-degree angle. And we'll gently start to roll over to our right. You might not get that far, and that's okay. You can tense your left fingers. So just feeling a nice stretch on the right shoulders. And just breathing here. And then coming back towards center. This time you can set up your arms again, having those goalpost arms, placing the weight into the left arm. Roll over to the left side. And coming back up through center. Hands can come underneath shoulders. You can lift yourself up through tabletop. And then open the knees wide, sitting back on your heels for child's pose. And you're going to walk your hands all the way to the right. In your child's pose, you should feel a nice stretch along the left side of your body. And just breathing right through the left side. And then you can walk your hands back through center, then coming over to the left, stretching out the right side of the body. And really imagine your breath going right to that right side, so deepening the stretch. Hands can come back towards center. You can bend the elbows, make prayer hands, bringing the hands right to the nape of the neck, and then pressing the elbows into the earth. You should feel a nice tricep stretch. And also just taking this opportunity, feeling all of the connection points to the earth, and just feeling supported. Hands can come back to the earth and rise up back into your tabletop. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, coming into downward facing dog. So first, downward facing dog, the practice. You can start to pedal out your feet here. Hands are pressed firmly into the earth. You can keep a little bend in the knees because that can really help to lengthen the spine. We're not going to drop the head or hold it up, but it really should almost be right between the biceps, so keeping the neck in line with the spine. And breathing here. And you can go high in your tiptoes. Bend the knees quite a bit. Look at the space between your hands. You can start to walk up to your hands. We'll meet in ragdoll forward fold. Feet hips width apart, opposite hand to opposite elbow, letting the head hang heavy here. And keeping a bend in the knees. So it's less about a hamstring stretch and more just about lengthening the spine. With the feet rooted into the earth, you can sway a little bit from side to side. Maybe even bringing the forearms all the way to one side and then all the way to the other. You can release the hands to the earth. Toe heel your feet together a little bit with the feet rooting into the earth. Slowly start to roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. And we'll meet into Tadasana with our palms outstretched. Inhale, hands come high. And then on an exhale, keep the hips squared forward. We'll take a high twist to the right. Just twisting out the belly. Coming back up. High twist to the left. And coming back up. You can grab your left wrist with your right hand. Really lengthening, trying to touch the sky. Then we'll take a side bend to the right. So stretching along the left side of the body. And coming back through center, this time grabbing the right wrist with the left hand. First taking the time to lengthen, trying to touch the sky. We'll take a side bend to the left. Coming back through center, we'll take those goddess arms, the feet rooting into the earth. Inhale, look up, opening up that heart space. And then hands can come to heart center. Inhale, hands come high. And exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, we'll bend the knees to lengthen our spine. So you can bring your hands to your shins. So pushing the shins, shoulder blades pinch back. Keeping that long spine, you can plant the hands. Left foot will step back. You can soften the left knee to the earth. Hands come high to the sky for your low lunge. If there's any tension in your shoulders here, just if you can soften a little bit. We often hold so much in our shoulders, but just relaxing. So really thinking of this practice as an opportunity to practice flowing with ease. We don't have to push, but we can be open to receiving. We can see where things go. Maybe even bring your hands to heart center. As you kind of gently start dropping into the front knee, stretching out the hip flexors. And left hand can come to the earth. We'll twist to the right. Right hand can come back to the earth. We'll straighten out that front leg and come into half split. So if you have blocks here, you can put them on either side of you just to bring the earth a little bit closer. But if you don't have blocks, or you could also use cans or paper towel rolls, you could do that. We're going to take some time. Inhale to lengthen and then exhale, just hinging at the hips. So you don't have to go that deep. breathing into this hamstring stretch. And we'll walk our hands forward, so they're on either side of the right foot. Curl the back toes under. We'll sweep the right leg back, coming into our three-legged dog on the right. So with the hands pressing into the earth, feeling that line of energy all the way from the palms of the hand to the back heel. And then you can bend the right knee, opening up the hip here. And we can take some ankle rotations in one direction, and then again in the other. And square the hips back to the earth. And then release the right foot down to meet the left, and you're back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, you can glide forward to your high plank, shoulders over wrist, keeping that core engaged. And then dropping the knees, coming into tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, look up for your cow. And then on an exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Left leg will come high, three-legged dog on the left. We're going to take an inhale here. Exhale, glide forward. Place your left foot on the outside of your left hand. So it's at about 10 o'clock, and we're in our high lizard lunge. The foot is at 10, hands are pressing into the earth, and you still have your back leg lifted. Breathing here. Then you can drop the back knee to the earth. Maybe you go on the edge of your left foot, the razor edge. You can either keep your arms long, hands pressing into the earth, or bring the forearms to the block or the earth. And we'll take a few breaths in our lizard lunge. So in this practice, we don't go as fast as in a typical vinyasa practice. And part of that is because we're just focused a little bit more on flexibility and receptivity. But not only is it good for our body, it's also good for our mind, because sometimes it's harder to slow down. We can almost find it easier to keep going quickly, to keep pushing through. Really, we need to slow down to connect with our body, to connect with our inner wisdom. So it becomes a meditation in motion. Can you continue to be present, even when things are slower? Can you stay with the body and the breath? And I don't know about you, but sometimes I find it even more difficult when things are slow. And really, that's the practice. Staying with it, not worrying about what you need to do after practice or what had happened earlier, but remaining connected, body, mind, and spirit. And you can come back up on your hands, and then you can bring your foot back to the center. And then on an inhale, you'll come back up into your runner's lunge. So knee is over ankle here. And then on an exhale, you can straighten that front leg. Scooch the back leg up a little bit and we'll come into pyramid. So in pyramid, both feet are flat on the earth. That back right foot's probably at about 45 degrees. If you have blocks, you can use them here. So you can inhale to lengthen, exhale, just hinging forward. And keep a little bit of a bend in the right knee if that feels okay. then right foot can come to meet the left, forward fold. With the feet rooting into the earth, pressing down into the earth. Inhale, you rise up to standing, extended Tadasana. And you bring your hands right to heart center. So even in this posture, Samastahi, feeling the feet rooting into the earth, shoulders stacked over hips, core engaged. So even though it's just a standing posture, you're still attentive, aware. You're still using most of the muscles in your body, if not all of them. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine, bring those shoulder blades back, gaze is straight down. And then you can plant the hands. This time we're going to step the right foot back, soften the right knee to the earth. Hands come high to the sky for your low lunge. Again, see how your shoulders are feeling. Are they tightening? Can you soften? Can you drop into it with a little bit more ease? And bring your hands to heart center. So just dropping in a little bit more. And then right hand can meet the earth. We'll take a side twist to the left. The left hand can come back to the earth. Straighten that front leg, half split. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale, just hinging forward. And you can walk the hands forward, curl the back toes under, and then the left leg sweeps back, three-legged dog on the left. We'll start with our hips squared to the earth, so you can keep that top foot flexed with the toes pointing to the earth. And breathing here. And you can bend the left knee, so open up the hip to the left. Still trying to keep the chest squared to the earth. And then you can take some ankle rotations in one direction. And then again in the other. Coming back to center, hips square to the earth. And then releasing the left foot back down to the earth, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward to your high plank. Engage the core here. Pressing the earth away. And you can drop the knees to the earth, coming back into your tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, look up for cow. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, push right back, downward facing dog. And breathing here. And right leg will come high, three-legged dog on the right. Then we'll glide forward. That right foot will step outside of the right hand to about 1 or 2 o'clock, and we're in our high lizard lunge. So that back leg is still lifted, hands are pressing into the earth. You can drop the back knee to the earth, maybe on the edge of your right foot for your lizard lunge. You can keep the hands pressing into the earth, or you can come down to your forearms. So at the beginning of practice, I was telling you we were talking about Persephone, and she's the goddess of spring, but the queen of the underworld, and she's one of the few goddesses where we actually see an evolution. So she actually takes her challenges and she goes from being kind of a mama's girl maiden into a sovereign queen. And she harnesses the energy of her challenges to make her stronger. And I had just read something recently that trees actually need wind. They need that friction for their roots to grow deeper, and that enables them to grow taller and stronger. And I think people are like that too, that we need the challenges in our life because we need the opportunity to cultivate resiliency, to cultivate strength. If everything always went smoothly, there wouldn't be as much room for growth and development. So I know it's hard, especially when we're in the midst of things, but we can really think of our challenges as an opportunity to evolve, to venture into our queendom, just like Persephone. And you can bring your hands back to the earth, lifting up. You can shimmy the right foot back to the center, and then curl the toes under, back into your runner's lunge. You can step the back foot forward a bit as we come into pyramid pose. So pyramid pose, both feet are flat on the earth. That back foot's at about 45 degrees. Hips squared. You can inhale to lengthen, exhale, hinge forward. And left foot can come to meet the right, forward fold. Feet rooting into the earth, we can rise up to standing, coming into our extended Tadasana, hands come high. Drop the hips, come into our Utkatasana, our chair pose. The feet rooted into the earth, hands are high, chest stays open and lifted. And just feeling your strength here. Feeling supported by the earth, so you are able to grow strong and tall. If you think of yourself like the tree, the challenges give you the opportunity for your roots to grow deeper. The opportunity to see how strong you are. Take one more inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine, shoulder blades go back. And then you can plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Pressing into the earth, that belly button comes back towards the spine. The neck is in line with the spine, so maybe you gaze right at the top of your mat. And now you can drop your knees if you need to still be building strength. And we'll all drop our knees, coming back into our tabletop. We'll place the weight into our right hand, kickstand the right leg to about 45 degrees. We're going to come into our supported side plank. So hand comes underneath shoulder. And breathing here. Now you can look at the side wall, but if it feels okay in your neck, you can turn it up to look at your hand. You can stay in your side plank, or you can lift that top leg and you're in your supported half moon. And you can stay in your supported half moon, or if you want, you can grab that left ankle coming into your supported half moon bow. So this is a back bend. And breathing here. And then you have that foot flexed. And then you can release your left ankle, come right back into your supported half moon. And then with intention, bringing the left foot back to the earth, and you're back into your supported side plank. The left hand can come back to the earth, you're back into your tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And then exhale, arch the spine and drop the head. And then come right back to our neutral tabletop. This time we're going to place the weight into the left hand and we'll kickstand the left shin. We'll take our supported side plank now on the other side. And breathing here. Now you can stay here, or you can lift the right leg, and you're in your supported half moon. Stay here, or grab your right ankle, coming into supported half moon bow. You can release your ankle, coming back into your supported half moon. Holding it here. With intention, slowly bringing that right leg back down to the earth. And then right hand comes down to the earth, back into your tabletop. And take a seat back, right on your heels. Bringing your hands together, Anjali Mudra. So shoulders stacked over hips here. Keeping the pinky and thumb together, you can expand the 3 middle fingers. And we'll take our Padma Mudra, so this is our lotus blossom. You can keep it right at heart center, maybe with eyes closed. And this is such a beautiful mudra, and it's appropriate for the story of Persephone because it's just a reminder that even when things seem dark and murky, there's always an opportunity to blossom. There's always beauty and growth. So even when we face our challenges, that's how we blossom. That's how we grow. And bring your fingers back to connect back to Padma Mudra. Hands can come back to the earth. You can cross your ankles and we'll make our way right back into a seated position. So soles of the feet can come together for Baddha Konasana. You can grab your toes or just rest the hands right on the earth. We're going to inhale our spine long. Exhale, folding forward. And just breathing here. So again, maybe you think of a challenging time in your life. And sometimes even when we look back, it becomes easier to see where we grew and how we were able to develop. So what gifts the challenge gave us and how we've become stronger. And even if we can't see it in the midst of challenges, sometimes it's harder to see when things are happening in the present moment, we can have faith that on the other side we will be stronger, we will be more powerful. And can rise back up. Left leg can come out, right leg can come to the inner thigh. Inhale, hands come high. And exhale, just hinging forward. And then you can rise back up. You can plant that right hand behind you. We're going to lift the hips up, coming into our baby wild thing. So that left hand can just reach right behind you, feeling that nice stretch. And then hips can come back down to the earth. We'll take our left foot, place it right outside of the right knee. You maybe adjust so both sits bones are even on your mat. And right hand can come behind to support you, left hand high. We'll take a twist to the right. So that, actually the other way. Left hand can come down. We'll take a twist to the left. Right elbow hooks along the left knee. I always get my lefts and rights confused in this posture. There's too much twisting. And coming back through center. So you'll take that left knee, placing it right on top of your right knee. So this is our Gomakasa, our cow face posture. Again, you can try to adjust, see if you can get the sits bones evenly on the earth. This might be plenty for you. You might feel a nice stretch along the outer hips. But if you want, you can walk the hands forward ever so slightly. You can just think of a slight hinge. So this is a pretty deep hip opener. And you can walk your hands back, coming back up to seated. Unwrap your legs. This time, right leg goes out, the left leg comes to the inner thigh. Inhale, hands come high, and then exhale, hinging forward. And you can rise back up. Plant the left hand behind, lifting the hips, rising high, baby wild thing. And then coming back down to the earth, we'll take the right foot planted outside of the left knee. And take a moment, adjust the sits bones. Right hand can come support you. Left hand comes high. We twist to the right. So you can hook that elbow along the right knee, or if that's too much, just give the knee a hug. And then coming back through center, you can bring that right knee right on top of the left as we get settled for our Gomakasa. Sit bones evenly on the earth. You might want to stay right here, or you can start to walk the hands forward a little bit. Just enough where you can feel that nice stretch along the hips. then you can start to rise back up. And you bring your legs both out in front of you. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, hinging forward. And then you can release your toes. You can plant your feet right on the earth here and gently make your way back down to your back. You can bring the feet, can come wide, knees knock in for knock knee pose. And you bring the feet back to hips width. You can drop the knees to the right as you gaze to the left. And coming back through center, and drop the knees to the left as you gaze to the right. And coming back through center, give your knees a hug in, maybe rock a little side to side, massaging up the spine. And you can release the legs long on the earth, taking up some space here. Palms can face the sky. And head, chest, and shoulders start to melt into the earth. And releasing any tension along the lower spine or the hips. And really think about just melting and letting go. For your final resting posture, Shavasana. Bringing a little bit of consciousness back to the toes and the fingers. And then when you're ready, you can start to roll over to your right or left side. So whatever's more comfortable, spend a few moments in the fetal position. You can push yourself up and keep the eyes still closed. We'll meet in a comfortable seated position with our hands at heart center. You can bring your thumb knuckles to your lips and to your third eye. I'm wishing you love, growth, and evolution on your journey. Everything that is good in light in me, as to everything that is good in light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. Have a wonderful day.